dance for joy or lust or anger, and every time you haven't.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, the series where we look at practical and sensible cars that you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2019 Vauxhall Adam 1.2 Griffin, and is it any good? Should you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the Vauxhall Adam was based on the chassis of the Vauxhall or Opel Corsa D or Corsa E. They were based on the same chassis and was in production from 2013 until 2019. This is an incredibly late Adam, special edition, and it was registered, after they actually went out of production. So yeah, very late registration indeed. In the last year of production, the Adam only had this 1.2 Family Zero engine, which develops about 69 horsepower. To be honest, it's actually not that bad. I thought this would be a lot slower than it actually is. 0 to 60, I think, in this car takes about 14 seconds, something like that. It doesn't actually feel that bad. I think because it's a 4-cylinder as opposed to a lot of the 3-cylinders which were being marketed in its competitors, it actually feels pretty good. It's not the most economical of these. The 1.4, which was of the same family, the Family Zero engine, actually had an 86 brake horsepower version, but you could get with what's called the Eco or Eco Flex package, and that actually had some tweaks to get the economy better. This isn't too bad. Combined MPG on the WLTP cycle is about 45 miles per gallon, but yes, if you want better economy and, to be honest, a bit more performance, then you can go for that 86 brake horsepower 1.4. There was also a 99 brake horsepower version of that engine, which would give a bit more performance, but yeah, the economy statistics don't really vary too much with that one. There are also some higher performance engines available. One of them from General Motors, their new small gasoline engine SGE. I think they came out about 2014-15, something like that. 113 horsepower. And then the Adam Grand Slam, or S, the Grand Slam name was only used for a few months, had a 1.4 turbo engine, which is about 148 horsepower. So the ride and handling of this car, they're not the best really. This isn't the sporty version or anything. It's the absolute sort of bottom of the range engine with just sort of a run out special edition specification. But it's okay actually. The ride's pretty compliant. Just avoid a massive pothole again going round and roundabout. Steering is electrically assisted. And there's even a button over here for the city mode, which I dared to press because I think it's going to make this. Yeah, we've completely lost all steering wheel viewers. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't recommend pressing this city button unless you really are in a very tight car park and you just want to help to get out of it. So the Adam and the Corsa E, I'm not talking about the electric Corsa, I'm talking about the Corsa E that followed the Corsa D, were some of the last bits of styling done in the small car segment by General Motors for Europe. I think the very last independent design would have been the Vauxhall Insignia B, which is sadly now deceased. But yes, this, when it came out in early 2013, was bang up to the minute, and I think it looks actually quite good now as well. I don't think it looks at all dated, really. I don't think there really was a facelift for these. I think they just continued in the way that they looked. You could get various weird trim levels with the Adam. They thought it was a fantastic idea to name the main trim levels Jam, Glam and Slam. There was also for a time a Grand Slam, which was later renamed the Adam S. They also had some strange colours, such as James Blonde, and I'm not going to try to hum the theme tune now because Barbara Broccoli will come and give my channel a copyright strike, which I won't enjoy. There was something like 80,000 permutations for sort of colour combinations and things like that, or even more. So you could personalise these cars how you wanted. You could get a glass panoramic roof, you could get silver wheels, you could get black wheels, you get contrasting colours on the roof like this car. You could really sort of amp it up, and you could even get one of these headlines with little LED lights in them as well if you really wanted. So it's all really about kind of chasing that Mini or Fiat 500 market, possibly the DS3 as well, and making the car as customisable as possible whilst basing it on a platform that was tried and tested. There's a very strange way you get into the boot in this car. You tap the bottom of the badge, like that, which I had to be shown the first time I drove one of these. So if you look in the boot down here, we can actually see that we haven't got anything. I'm not even sure you can fit a spare tyre to one of these, which is a bit annoying. Boot is very small in these as well. It's I think about 150 litres or something like that. They're very, very small. And the lip's really high, so getting luggage in and out of there is a bit of a problem. Put that dealer plate back in there so we are all legal when we drive back to the dealership. Yeah, I think it does look very smart. I think that they've got the design absolutely right for these, and you know, even the very early ones look good too. One of the things I'm not really looking forward to though, viewers, is getting in the back. That is not going to be very enjoyable at all. Right, here we go. Similar seats to a three-door Corsa. Oh, ooh, that's better. Okay, here we go. Mr. Manning from Matty's Cars always enjoys me doing these sort of things for some reason. Okay. Ow. Yeah, there's not a lot of headroom at all. In fact, there's virtually none. If you put these seat headrests up, or head restraints, I must say that, otherwise people tell me off, then it doesn't go into the sort of small of your back, but at the moment it's going to my small of my back, so I'll just hump this up with my back. There we go. That's better. Right, do I dare put this back? No, I don't. Because otherwise I'll be trapped in here for all eternity. We've got some map pockets at the back of here though, which is good. We've also got some absolutely enormous side bins. They're not door bins. What are they then? Just side bins? I suppose they are. Yeah, only 2 seats in here. If you wanted a 5-door car at this time, the early Adams would have been sold in the range along with the Vauxhall Aguila, which was the same as the Suzuki Splash. The later ones from 2015 would have been sold alongside the Vauxhall Viva. Not the one from the 70s, viewers, but we've had on the channel before, but the one that's based on the Chevy Spark or Opel Carl. Adam, the name comes from the fact that the founder of Opel was called Adam Opel. That's as simple as that. Why they renamed the Viva that in this country didn't rename the Adam to something a bit more suitable, I don't know, like the Vauxhall Bill or whatever it is, I don't know, but that's what we decided to do. Okay, let me free myself from my self-imposed prison. Okay, viewers, I didn't really enjoy it very much, but never mind. We've got reminders in here of the General Motors connection just all over this cabin. We've got these window switches, mirror switch, steering wheel buttons, column stalks, and even I think the gear shift, which come off loads of other things. Particularly those window switches these cruise control bits in here, they're almost the same as on my old 2011 Chevy Cruze, which is interesting. At least you've got cruise control in here. Some of the others would have come with climate control. This doesn't. It's just got normal air conditioning, which some of you will appreciate. Just normal handbrake in here, normal 5-speed manual. If you went for some more powerful engines, you get a 6-speed manual. The screen is actually quite nice because it's one of the later cars. It has the updated system in it, which is great. I think the steering wheel looks very nice as well, because this car's only done something like 15,000 miles. Then everything is in really, really good condition. So we'll just put the key in. The key looks interesting as well, actually. It says Adam on it, rather than the generic Corsa key that you would have got with everything else. It just, left hand's a little bit difficult. There we go. Okay. Right, Vauxhall IntelliLink. I think this means you could get a mirror link function, and you could hook up your phone via sort of Apple CarPlay or mirror link or something like that. Let's go back to the settings and see. Hopefully the stereo's not on. I think I turned it off. Yeah, there we go. Projection here. We're not connected though, so we can't do anything. Rubbish. Yeah, no paired device. Someone's cleared this out, haven't they? They've actually got sat-nav in here as well. Griffin's clearly a very equipped, it's a very well-equipped special edition, isn't it? Considering it's just based on the bottom spec Jam model. There we go. We are just near Chelmsford at the moment. And it's actually quite a nice screen. I think this is it's either 7 or 8 inches, this one. And we can go through the settings here actually to see the sort of red backlit dials. There's the average MPG for the car, remaining all life. It's just been serviced then. And there's an eco meter as well if you want to annoy yourself whilst you're driving. Nice vents here. Let's just see if that glove box is going to take me secret mission documents. No, because they haven't moved the fuse box from left to right hand drive, so we can't even do that. There's that city button for the power steering, which makes it extremely light. That's not my preference in the car, so I shall not be touching that again. Again, same headlight switches the Vauxhall Astra J and the Chevy Cruze. Not surprising, really. So no panoramic roof in this car and no funny LED lights in the headliner, but never mind. The seats are pretty comfortable, actually. When James Martin from JM1 Cars, who's actually based not too far from here, drove an AMS, he said that you know, people complain you sat quite high. The thing is, if you put the seat all the way down, which I've just done, then you don't. You feel, you know, low enough. The thing you do feel though is you're sat quite far back in the car, because look at all this dash. There's so much dash and a big windscreen. You do feel quite far back, which you know, is similar, I suppose, to something like a Mini. USB port is down here. I'm not sure if there's an aux in. Cigarette lighter's just there. And yeah, it's all very pleasant and seems to work quite well. Let's turn that off. You can turn that off, there we go. Let's have a look at the engine. So here we are, viewers, the good old Family Zero engine. 4-cylinder unit, developing in this case around 70 horsepower. The Family Zero actually came out in 1996, so it's a very, very kind of long-lived engine. The biggest problem that you'll find with these is timing chain rattle, and it's not necessarily actually caused by the timing chain itself. It's caused by certain things. I think we've got some plastic guides on there and things like that, which is, yeah, not always the best. One of the ways you could prevent this is just by actually making sure the oil's been changed regularly on these. There's no cam belt in there, so you know, you've got to make that chain nice and happy by keeping it bathed in good quality oil rather than just not servicing it, which is what some people do. But this looks great under here. We can actually see the gearbox that's down there as well, so access is quite good. I think the biggest engine for these was a 1.4, so you know, plenty of room under here, and then you could get a little 1 litre 3-cylinder as well with 113 horsepower. Right, I think it's time, viewers, to go for another drive. Lloyd Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. So apart from incredibly light steering in city mode, what's the Adam kind of like to drive? Well, it doesn't feel as small as I'd imagine, bearing in mind this is a smaller car than the Corsa D or Corsa E that it's based on. It feels actually relatively large. I don't really know why, possibly because it's the same width as a Corsa. And it's got this enormous kind of big windscreen. You could also get a panoramic sunroof in these. You could even go for the Adam Rocks, or Adam Rocks Air I think it's sometimes called, which is like a sort of SUV type Adam with body cladding and a folding fabric roof. It's a bizarre thing what they used to do with these. But it's very pleasant. This car's only done 16,000 miles from new, and it's for sale at Langley Prestige in Chelmsford, who are providing with lots of cars for the channel today. I actually quite like driving this. You know, considering it's a rival like the Fiat 500 or the Mini, I'm actually quite surprised how much I like this. I drove a 1.4 version of this in 2017. I didn't like it nearly as much as this. It's very strange. For some reason, it doesn't feel underpowered particularly either, which is weird if you're thinking about someone like me who's always complaining about bass engines in cars. I think this is pretty nice actually. Quite like it. Let's now look at some Vauxhall Adam trim levels. Of course, the aforementioned Jam, Glam and Slam. Then the Grand Slam later became the S. The Unlimited, that was kind of like a sort of higher trim Slam. The Energized Blackjack, the Black Edition, the White Edition, and of course this Griffin. You could get park assist with this car. The 17 and 18 inch wheels would have come with the sport chassis. I like this more comfortable setup, to be honest. I think I have driven a car with the sport chassis before. I didn't like it as much. The boot's actually 170 litres, not sort of 150. I think the automatic gearbox is only available in this car on the 1.4 with 86 horsepower, which also had the EcoFlex package available too. So viewers, should you buy a Vauxhall Adam, or Opel Adam if you're in some other countries, with your hard-earned budget of between £1,000 and £5,000, well, because these are the same running gear as a Corsa, and they're essentially just a lengthened version of one of those cars, then they should be very easy to service. Problems with the running gear of this model are very well documented now. It shouldn't cost a lot to run, particularly this 1.2 Griffin model, and I've quite enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching this episode of Sensible Secondhand Reviews. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video in the comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more reasonably priced motoring.
1, 2, 3, 4. Every blue day, every day.